Hi guys, so for my presentation, the topic I chose was infant formula, specifically the marketing, nutrition, and use. Infant feeding is a big part of helping babies grow, and choosing between breastfeeding and using formula is a key decision for parents. Formula is made to act like breast milk and is important for many families, especially those that can't breastfeed and others who choose formula for different reasons. However, this topic can get a little tricky and does cause many debates. There are health, moral, cultural, and social sides to consider. This talk will look at how formula helps in feeding babies, its history, and its effects on baby health. We'll also dive into debates about using formula versus breastfeeding, looking at political, medical, cultural, and moral views. This presentation aims to give a clear view of the guidelines and advice on feeding babies, highlighting the need for parents to make informed choices. Health and nutrition issue. So on the slide, I just wanted to put a nutrition label. This was just off a random formula carton I got offline. As you can see, the marketing on the side with the circles, it has like keywords that make parents be drawn to these formulas, saying like lactose free, no table sugar, non-GMO, no artificial growth hormones, and parents are drawn to it thinking that they're doing the best thing for their babies. However, if you look at the ingredients, well, straight off the bat, it's more than a thumb size, which, as we've seen throughout the class, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, maybe like week 2 or 3, I want to say, I'm not sure, but I remember watching some video that explained that if ingredients are bigger than your thumb, that you should avoid them. And as you can see, the first ingredient straight at the bat, corn syrup solids, 47%. That's almost half of the formula is oils. And it's ridiculous because it's almost as if the company decided to make the ingredient list so small compared to everything else, because it looks like you're getting all the minerals, all the vitamins, and then you go to the ingredients and the font is automatically so hard to read. Okay, so just like an overview on the formula, as I did say in my intro slide, the main use of formula is to act like breast milk, and it is designed for parents that can't make breast milk, or like there's some other issue, maybe like HIV, something that can be like given to the kid through the breast. So in circumstances like that, I totally understand why a mother might want to do formula. Okay, so here are some facts I found from my articles. Infant formula, with the global formula industry valued at around $55 billion, aggressive marketing campaigns specifically target new mothers and families through online content, often making formula appear as an equally optimal choice to breast milk. This is from WHO 2022. Despite its role in supporting infant nutrition when breastfeeding, it's not possible. Formula's promotion through social media and other digital marketing tactics influence feeding decisions and public perceptions about breastfeeding. Comp 2024. So exactly as I was saying before, it's just the way that it's marketed through social media, making it seem to mothers that buying formula is benefiting them and their child. Okay, and now I just want to dive into the history of infant formula and its role in infant nutrition. Over the years, formula has become more normalized as a feeding option, even in regions where breastfeeding had been the standard. With the intention to mimic breast milk, formula was designed to contain proteins, fat, carbohydrates, and vitamins that are necessary for infant growth. This is from Numerous Foundation. I actually really enjoyed this article because it did focus more on the pediatric kids' health, which I felt like was a better source for me because I am looking more at the baby's health more than I am looking at the mother's health also, but I feel like specifically what my topic is all about is the child's needs and health and what they're missing if they're not getting the breast milk. Its widespread normalization has contributed to a decline in exclusive breastfeeding practices despite recommendations from health organizations like WHO to breastfeed exclusively for the first 6 months of life. The continued growth and marketing of formula have significantly impacted infant feeding practices globally, often replacing breast milk as the preferred source of nutrition. How formula affects infant health. So diving right into the benefits, obviously the main point of formula and the whole reason it was created was for parents who can't breastfeed or decide not to. Infant formula is a healthy alternative. The FDA regulates formula companies to ensure they provide all the necessary nutrients. For mothers who face difficulties in breastfeeding, formula provides a reliable and nutritious option to ensure infants receive adequate nourishment. And then going right into the risks. However, formula feeding comes with some risks comparing to breastfeeding. Formula lacks the antibodies and protective factors naturally present in breast milk, which help defend against infection, allergies, asthma, and chronic conditions like diabetes and obesity. Additionally, formula feeding can alter the infant's gut, potentially affecting digestion and immunity. Marketing of formula may also contribute to misconceptions about breastfeeding and discourage exclusive breastfeeding practices, which are crucial for optimal infant health and development. This is from WHO 2022. Consequently, while formula plays an essential role in certain circumstances, it does not provide the same health benefits as breastfeeding and may increase the risk of various health issues. Here are just some more of my quotes from my article. As you can see, I quoted the Nemours Foundation and the WHO organization, 2022. Okay, as you guys can see on my slide, I thought I would just be more organization-wise to make sort of like a chart. I put the pros and cons of both formula and breastfeeding. As you can see, each column does have many topics. I don't feel like one is specifically more than the other. However, I would argue that breastfeeding would be the more nutritious option. The debate over infant formula versus breastfeeding centers on different benefits and challenges. Formula allows any caregiver, not just the mother, to feed to the baby, making it easier to share duties and schedules other daily activities without being tied to a strict feeding routine. Since formula-fed babies tend to eat less often, the feeding schedule is more predictable. Formula companies market these advantages, making sure to highlight how their products can support parents who work, have busy lives, or simply want more control over feeding. However, there is a concern about how formula companies use marketing to influence decisions. Their advertising often emphasizes convenience and downplays the health benefits of breastfeeding, which can lead parents to believe that formula is not just as good as breast milk. this approach has been criticized by health organizations like WHO and the American Academy of Pediatrics, which argue that formula marketing can mislead parents and discourage breastfeeding. The marketing is often aggressive, using social media, celebrity endorsements, and personalized ads to target new mothers at a vulnerable time when they're still deciding on how to feed their baby. Breastfeeding is backed by many health experts because of its proven health benefits for both babies and mothers. Breast milk naturally contains the ideal blend of nutrients, antibodies, and other protective factors that help strengthen a baby's immune system and lower the risk of infections. Breastfeeding also helps mothers return to their pre-pregnancy weight faster and reduce their risk of developing certain cancers and heart conditionings. Both sides present solid arguments and evidence. While formula is often chosen for its convenience and sharing feeding responsibilities and fitting into a busy lifestyle, breastfeeding is prompted for its unmatched health benefits and natural nutritional value. The controversy largely revolves around how much value should be placed on convenience versus long-term health benefits, and how formula marketing impacts families' feeding decisions by marketing formula seem just as healthy and more convenient than breastfeeding. Parents are often left weighing these factors to decide what's best for their baby and their family. Political, clinical, cultural, and social factors. Diving right into the political factors, government policies play a crucial role in regulating formula marketing and shaping infants' feeding practices. The need for strict enforcement of International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk substitutes is emphasized in the articles, who argue that government must intervene to limit aggressive formula marketing tactics and undermine breastfeeding. The lack of effectiveness policies or enforcement, as highlighted by Harwood and Daltrey 2023 and 2022 articles, allows formula companies to exploit gaps in legislation and continue to influence feeding practices in countries like South Africa. The World Health Organization 2022 underscores that stronger policies and regulations are necessarily globally, as current formulas marketing practices often breach international guidelines and invade through digital marketing. Effective government action is essential in mitigating unethical formula marketing and protecting public health by promoting breastfeeding. Clinical factors. Cultural differences. Hold on. I just lost my train of thought. Cultural differences greatly influence the acceptance and usage of formula feeding across different communities. As you can see here, the 2021 article discusses how breast milk provides optimal nutrition and supports infant growth patterns effectively, unlike formula. Another source shows how highlighting that breast milk has better nutrients compared to formulas. So it's all about, is this the best product to give to my child, rather than just pumping milk myself? Is it more just the convenience for the mothers? Is it more about, can I just go to daycare without having to worry about pumping before or during work? It's all about, at the end of the day, what's convenient for the parents, which more likely than not, I feel like parents are more lenient towards breastfeeding, because I do feel like it's sort of known that there is more of a, maybe it's not known that there is scientific nutrients, but it's more known that it's like skin to skin contact. It's more influenced by the nurses in the hospital to continue breastfeeding and to start with breastfeeding. Cultural factors, again, it's the cultural norms, influence feeding choices and shifts, cultural perspectives on breastfeeding. The Numerous Foundation mentions how cultural attitudes towards public breastfeeding can lead to a preference for formula, as some mothers may feel pressured or uncomfortable breastfeeding in public. Understanding these cultural differences is essential for developing strategies to encourage breastfeeding and provide cultural sensitive support. This article right here, the 2024 Viral Comp, noted that formula companies tailor their marketing strategies to fit cultural norms and values. This kind of alters their cultural perceptions towards formula usage. And formula is just becoming a convenient and more modern choice as it's being marketed and targeted with the factors of the political sense. And then, just last but not least, I just want to go into the social factors really quick. Sorry about that. Hold on. Economic factors significantly influence a mother's decision to breastfeed or formula feed. Formula feeding can be costly, as noted by the Numerous Foundation, with expenses accumulating over time, which may affect families with limited financial resources. However, Doherty, if I'm saying that right, 2023 article, points out that formula marketing often targets families by presenting formula as a convenient solution for working mothers or those who find breastfeeding difficult despite its higher cost compared to breastfeeding. In contrast, breastfeeding offers a more economically sustainable option, as breast milk is free and does not require additional expense for formulas, bottles, and other supplies. However, economic considerations such as the need to return back to work may lead some mothers to choose formula feeding despite the potential cost savings of breastfeeding. Balancing these economic factors is crucial in supporting families to make informed feeding choices that suit their financial and lifestyle needs. One of the other articles I added was The Who, just because it does address how formula companies are using social media influencers and online communities to target mothers at vulnerable stages. Ethical considerations and actions. Sorry about that. As you can see, I really organized it into different categories that I felt made it more clearer. Instead of just having a bunch of words on the screen, I want to do different colors. When we talk about the right way to feed babies, we have to think about health and also being fair. In many poorer countries, ads for formula milk are really strong and sometimes take advantage of people by saying formula is as good or as better as breastfeeding. These ads can be everywhere, from social media to health centers, which is tricky because breastfeeding has health benefits that formula can't offer, but it's not always shown on social media or health centers, like I'm saying. Also, some families don't have clean water or the things that they need to use formula safely, which makes pushing formula in these areas even more of a problem. Groups like WHO and UNICEF, who are working hard to keep breastfeeding safe and stop unfair formula ads. They follow rules that help control how formula is sold to make sure companies don't do wrong by new moms. These rules help teach doctors and nurses about breastfeeding and why it's good, and to make sure that formula is used the right way when it's needed. Every country is asked to follow these rules, but not all places do it the same way. Some local governments work with these big groups to find the best ways to help moms and babies in their own areas. Doctors and health experts have a big job in making sure babies are healthy. they need to give families clear and honest info about breastfeeding and using formula. This means helping families understand why breastfeeding is usually the best choice and what could go wrong with formula. If breastfeeding isn't an option, they should teach how to make formula safely. They also can make it easier for moms to breastfeed by setting up better rules at work and in health centers. By focusing on what's best for both moms and babies, health experts can make sure all babies get a good start in life. As you can see here in this picture in the middle, I wanted to find an image that showed formulas over time because obviously they have evolved. However, I just wanted to show you guys more just like a photo of how many different types of formulas there are. There's so many formulas, and it's just, if you really like go to the store and look at the marketing, you will see like how some packages are like brighter than others, some like have like little animal images, and some are like organic, or they like use like big like words and bold to like jump at parents to be like, hey, like pick me, like I'm good for your child, da 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 da. And a lot of moms and families see that and buy it and think that they're doing good by their child. However, they don't really are exploring the cons of it and not really understand there's way more benefits in breastfeeding than there are of buying formula for their child. So I just thought that this was very interesting because as someone that does plan to be a mom one day, I never really thought about how formula could have all these side effects, because like I feel like nowadays it's just like the common like norm just to have formula, just to feed your kid formula after like that 6 weeks, and just to get them on there. And like even working at a daycare, so many parents just drop their kids off with formula packets or formula bins or bottles with formula pre-made. It's just not like, it's starting to die down, the breastfeeding. And I even working at a restaurant like I do, I will walk by moms breastfeeding their kids, and so many people are like icked out by it and like turn away, making the mom so uncomfortable. So I definitely feel like more with the slides we looked at before with this type of slide, going back to it, I really feel like this is a huge issue, and cultural, political, clinical, social, all these factors do play a role in baby formula and the baby getting enough nutrition, whether it's making the mom looked bad at in public, making her feel uncomfortable, making it more convenient so she doesn't have to miss work and she can just drop the kid at daycare with formula instead of feeling like she has to breastfeed all this milk before and to produce all this milk. So I definitely feel like that is one of the major reasons why formula does go over $55 billion, is because of how it's looked at in today's society. Okay, guys, just to wrap this up, sorry if I was talking a little fast. I am very passionate about the topic, so for me, I just want to get it all out. But I'll try to dial it down a little as we get into these conclusions. The topic of infant formula is vital in understanding. It's varied and significant in the context of infant health and nutrition. While it has become an essential alternative for families who cannot or choose not to breastfeed, the benefits and challenges of formula's use have fueled ongoing debates. Breastfeeding is widely recognized as the optimal form of infant nutrition due to its health benefits, but formula provides a practical solution in certain circumstances and meets the needs of many families. Understanding the balance is key, and the decision to formula feeding or breastfeed is influenced by health considerations, cultural norms, economic factors, and personal choices. Ultimately, parents must make the informed decision that best suits their family's unique situation, considering both the evidence-based guidelines and the cultural contents. All right, guys, and here is my works cited. Thank you. Bye.